In this video, we are going to be discussing polygons, what they are, and what some special characteristics about them are, especially relating to angles. So very first, what is a polygon? Well, a polygon is a two-sided or two-dimensional shape formed by straight lines. There are two different types of polynomials that we see. We see regular polygons, which means that all the sides are the same length, and the angles are the same, which is kind of implied if the sides are all the same. And then an irregular is where the sides or angles are not all the same. Okay, now when it comes to irregular polygons, we actually have two different types that we often see. And when we come up with our definitions for polygons and different theorems that we use with them, we actually want to be specific about the ones we're talking about. So there are two different kinds. There are ones called convex and concave. So convex polygons are ones where all of the angles are outside angles, or they open up and nothing goes in. So for example, a convex shape might look something like this. Now a concave, when you think of a cave goes in. And so what we have here is we actually have shapes that look something like this. Now, both of these are six-sided polygons. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes, sides, but this concave one has the piece that comes in and cuts into itself. The convex ones are ones that cut out. Now, it's really important to know which type we're talking about because special theorems only apply to convex polygons versus concave polygons. Now, again, because a polygon is any two-dimensional shape formed by a straight line, we also have something called complex ones where our sides cross, which might be something like that you see that might look like this, is a complex polygon, and we're not really going to be dealing with those. Typically, what we're going to look at in this chapter and throughout this unit is our concave polygons. So let's take a look at some of those common polygons that we see here. So common types of polygons that we often see. This one is called a triangle, as we know. And notice how it has 3 sides and 3 angles. This one we might call a square when it is a regular polygon. When it's an irregular polygon, what we actually call this is a quadrilateral, which basically is a really fancy way of saying 4-sided shape. Now, when one has 5 sides, or a 5-sided shape, we call those ones pentagons. A 6-sided shape is called a hexagon. A 7-sided shape is called a heptagon. An 8-sided shape, like the ones we see with stop signs, are called octagons. And those are 8-sided octagons. A 9-sided one is called a nonagon, which is pretty fun to say. Those ones have 9 sides. And then lastly, our 10-sided ones here are called decagons. And those ones have 10 sides. Now, a really common one that you also might hear is something called a dodecagon. We'll see that in a later video, and those are 12-sided polygons. So each shape kind of has a specific characteristic about it. The angles are very specific when it comes to each one of these different polygons. And so we are going to actually check out the relationship between these angles here. Now we're just going to begin talking about them. And then in the next video, we'll actually talk about a pattern that we can see with some of the interior angles and a pattern that we can see with the exterior angles. But that is going to be in the next video. So common types of polygons: triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, hexagons, heptagons, octagons, nonagons, and decagons. Wow, we've got a lot of gons there, but polygons are so awesome. And remember, anything can be a polygon as long as it's a two-sided or two-dimensional shape with straight sides. So a circle is not a polygon, but this weird shape, well, that is a polygon. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, but that is what a polygon is. In future videos, we are going to discuss how to find the interior angles of a polygon, figure out what those are in a regular polygon, and you find out a formula that we can use to figure out what it is for any type of polygon, regardless of the number of sides. We're also going to talk about the relationship between the exterior angles of the polygons and how we can use those to determine how many sides there are. So please check out those next videos in which we talk about some other awesome features about the angles of polygons.